Hi there. So today we're going to discuss about the Mazda 787B Le Mans winner kit car from Tamiya. We'll go over its history, some information about the price and availability, the contents of the box, some conclusion at the end, and hopefully a general scale modeling tip. So let's go. So this kit was first introduced in 1992. It's discontinued, but it saw a couple of re-releases or versions of this. In 2012, a different livery kit was released with new parts, and also the white with blue Mazda livery / decal. Also in 2019, this was re-released with a new box and new decal from Cartograph. So this kit is found in some web shops and secondhand sellers for around 100 euros if you can find it. I think anything from 80 euros and above, in some examples even going above 150 euros. This is still available in some shops. There is stock of it. It is discontinued, as I said, but you can still find it here and there. Although it is highly coveted, it's one of those kits that everybody must have. So if you do find it, it's going to be quite expensive. So for the contents of the kit, this is not a very complex kit. In true Tamiya fashion, with these Group C cars, the setup, I guess it's quite the same. You have the body, you have a few sprues with interior and mechanical parts, wheels and a decal, and that's about it. The kit quality is pretty good. I would say old school Tamiya quality, meaning it's not as good as newer kits, but it's pretty good nonetheless. I've seen some people complaining about, some fitment issues, some misalignment here and there. That seems to be a common thing with these kits. Not big issues, but nonetheless they're there. So yeah, the body looks really good. The glass sharp and clean. You also have this rough edge surrounding the clear parts that is kind of like a mask to give you an idea what needs to be painted black. Pretty standard slick tires. You have the interior, as I said, some mechanical parts. The engine bay is detailed, suspension, transmission, interior is very detailed, but it doesn't have a lot of parts. There are some aftermarket parts for this. There's a detail up kit. There are a couple of, well, actually a few different decals for different liveries out there. If the kit you buy doesn't come with the decal, or if the decal is damaged for some reason. This is pretty okay. It's a bit yellow, which makes sense for its age, but yeah, still looking good. The manual is pretty standard. Instructions are clear, I think. I haven't built this car, but I don't think there are any issues here. Not an issue for a skilled modeler, and even for intermediate ones. So in conclusion, a pretty good kit. It is somewhat challenging. From what I understand, it's not beginner friendly. It's more for intermediate to advanced builders. There is a lot of positive online feedback for it. If you're willing to take on a bit of challenge with some fitment issues, tolerance issues that you need to be aware of and think ahead, do test fits. Also, I understand that while the decal is great, there's still some issues here and there matching the paint with the decal and so on. So yeah, minor issues. Of course, with these kits, you can get a pretty old decal with some yellowing, with some issues. So maybe it's not a kit for beginners. So for the tip of the day, I will be talking about buying kits, especially secondhand kits, especially older kits that, you know, some of these kits have been in storage for decades, 30, 40, 50 years. And there are some things that you need to look out for when buying such a kit, especially more expensive ones like the Mazda and very sought after, very rare kits. So the first thing to check is, of course, check the box. If it's dented, if it's broken, if it has signs of being hit, dropped, I don't know, some damage that can end up on the parts, actually parts being broken or bent, warped, and so on. Also check for water damage. If the box has unusual stains on it or a weird shape, it might be because there was a leakage or something and water ended up in the box, which is not good. Also, discoloration means that the box was kept in direct sunlight, which is not good for the plastic parts and the decal and so on. While inspecting the contents of the kit, don't just buy the kit and put it on a shelf and build it some 6 months later and to find out that the decal is gone, completely useless, or the body is deformed, warped, and so on. So yeah, when you buy it, whether you buy a kit in person or online, just do a small check. Look at the pillars, that they're not bent or broken, or check that the overall shape of the body is straight and that it doesn't have any weird deformation. Check the tires. Older rubber tends to harden and lose its elasticity. So check that it still bends, it's still flexible. Also check the decals for yellowing. Look at the sheet, the decal sheet, look at it in a light so that you can see if it has cracks, if it has weird rough patches where it's not shiny, or some oddities in the decal. If it's in a protective sheet, make sure that it's not the sheet, the decal is not stuck to the envelope, paper envelope or plastic bag, doesn't matter. Make sure that it is not stuck to that. Of course, you can still save it if it is, but it's better that there are no issues from the beginning. And finally, check the manual for the number of parts that the kit should contain. You can find these on, I think all companies have this on the instruction sheet. You would see the parts that the kit should contain. In some kits from other brands like Fujimi, Hasegawa, and so on, you would see the actual sprues listed out and what they contain, and the letter that is on the sprue. You would find that letter somewhere on the sprue. For example, here it says sprue A. We can see it in the list here. This kit should contain all of these parts, including the body, decals, and whatever else is included. So make sure you check for all of these when buying a kit. I understand that sometimes buying kits online, it's you can't really see the contents. Maybe there aren't enough photos, or it's not quite visible. you can always ask the seller, hey, does it include all the parts listed in the manual? Some sellers, they might not know the specific kit, they might not even be modelers, they're just selling it. So yeah, do ask in advance, and if they cannot help you, then check it when it arrives. And that way you make sure that your kit contains everything on the list it should contain, and that it's not damaged or missing or unusable. So that was it for the tip. Thanks.